Hey Dragon Slayers, today's video is about undernutrition and puberty. Though much less common, it's worthwhile to highlight undernutrition and puberty. If a child is undernourished, the effect on puberty depends on when the lack of sufficient food occurred. In one scenario, if a female child is born under her ideal body weight, she will commonly catch up to her peers in the first few years of life, and within the next few years exceed them in body fat gain. Because of this, children that are born underweight usually experience puberty at the same time as their peers, though they may also start earlier than normal. This is especially true for girls. Remember that below average birth weight increases the risk of developing insulin resistance later in life. So, in these children who are born relatively undernourished, as body fat catches up to normal and then surpasses normal levels, insulin starts relatively lower in life, then increases in the ensuing years with the progression of insulin resistance. The higher insulin levels increase leptin levels and make it more likely that puberty will start early. The second scenario involves a child who experiences undernutrition in childhood preceding puberty, but had a normal birth weight. This child's diet or lifestyle is such that insulin is very low, which results in very little body fat. This, in turn, results in insufficient leptin production, leading to delayed puberty. A primary example of this is look at the young female gymnasts who undertake strict training and diet to maximize their performance by reducing body fat and increasing muscle mass. In these elite gymnasts, delayed puberty is very common. A second example of delayed puberty with undernutrition is the individual with anorexia nervosa, the state of self imposed starvation. Puberty is usually delayed in this state, and in some instances, physical sexual development may be permanently hindered, even if nutrition later becomes sufficient. For example, reduction in breast development. Reproduction is a demanding process, and the body wants to ensure things are working right, including metabolic function, before worrying about the next generation. Insulin, the king of all metabolic hormones, is a strong indicator of metabolic status in the body. And high insulin rings a warning bell. From the brain to the ovaries and the testes, insulin either facilitates or frustrates reproduction. Normal insulin, reflecting good metabolic health, promotes normal fertility. As frustrating as fertility issues can be, they rarely fall within the realm of scary, which is where the next health complication resides that we're going to go over. As different as fertility is and cancers are, they do have one thing in common. To various degrees, they are both highly influenced by insulin. So, the next video is going to be about insulin and cancer and how insulin basically affects cancer, or insulin resistance specifically affects the development of cancer. In this segment that I've went over before in the previous videos about reproduction, I mean, you can see that it affects every single aspect of reproduction for men and women. And it is fascinating to me because some of these things you wouldn't think would be related are. And fortunately, infertility, it's really sad, and it's many people suffer from it, but it won't kill you, right? Like, not necessarily. But cancer obviously is more deadly. And that's what we're going to dig into next. So stay tuned. There's so much more coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. And remember, guys, that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.